What's up, everybody? You're tuned in to the Cris
And more.
podcast, episode 249, Takeover Wednesdays. Hope everybody's having a good night, whatever you're doing. You're at home, you're at work. We appreciate y'all tapping into the live stream. If you're listening on the playback, we appreciate you too. Leave a comment in the comments section. We got a few things to speak on. Got some NBA news. Play-in tournament has been going on, and playoffs are on the horizon. We're gonna talk some WNBA, stock up, stock down, and get some NBA news out there too, or WNBA news out there too. Also, we're gonna do some WrestleMania night one and night two predictions, and of course, everybody's favorite, sweeping the nation, Maul's random news.
Gang, gang.
Before we do all that, Maul, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. WrestleMania week is here, man. Feel the energy, man. Seems like everybody's slowly trickling in. I think SmackDown's tomorrow, right? SmackDown's tomorrow. Friday. You know what I mean? So, I'm ready. I'm ready for a dope ass weekend, man, and I'm ready to talk about these topics, man. How you feeling?
Same. You know, feeling the energy, ready to get this weekend kicked off, so we can, have some fun this week. But ready to talk about these topics right now.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Let's go and kick this thing off with the WNBA since that's really all the hot news right now.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get our, after the draft and most of the signings have been signed. There's still some few players out there, but I think teams have pretty much filled their rosters of what they're gonna have. Training camp is right around the corner. So I wanted to get our feel on who we feel like team is stock up and who team is stock down. So I'm gonna let you go first, player.
Yeah, man. As far as like stock up, I gotta say the Washington Mystics. I really love what they did as far as like overall the draftability that they came across with the additions that they made compared to like what we normally have seen from this team. I love what they did. Let me see if I get to their roster real quick. What the hell is everybody at? Yeah, so honestly, the addition of Lauren Betts, I love that the pair with Sonia Citron and her. That duo could be really nasty. Obviously, they still got Kiki Efron and all that. Then obviously, Madison Scott, Cotty McMahon. I love that pick. Shorty from Ole Miss, man, she was hooping last year. I love that. As far as like my stock down, I'm gonna go with the Golden State Valkyries because of the whole situation with Flage. I think they got Flage with a steal, like just with the positioning that they were able to get with her, and then to trade her to the Seattle Storm, which I think is another team that you could honestly say stock up with that situation with the additions that they made. I just wasn't a fan of that whole process. I think the whole fan base was not happy with that whole trade. It came out of nowhere, especially for the value that they, the second round, and you pretty much swapped the player and then got a second round pick. Like for Flage Johnson, I need a first. I need a first round pick. So I wasn't really too fan of that. So that would be one that's a stock down. I'm not going to get too much on the Connecticut Sun. We know they're kind of like in the building process, and obviously they're in the transitional period as far as like, what Cris said, when we did the WNBA podcast about them moving to Houston. So I'm not going to get too much on them. Another team that I really would say would be a stock up is the Chicago Sky, especially in the position that everything that people were kind of talking about, the whole mess with Angel Reese and all that. And then to see what they were able to get, you know what I mean? I think their stock up is up as well.
Yeah, I'm with you with the Mystic, Lauren Betts, Angela DeGulick, Cody McMahon. They also brought back Shakiri Austin. They brought her back. They matched the offer sheet that was given to her, I think, by Toronto or Portland Fire. It was one of the two. Yeah, bring those players in. You add that with Sonia Central, like you said, Kiki Efron, and I think you got a formidable squad right there on paper. I did hear the GM say that Lauren Betts will be coming off the bench. We'll see how long that lasts. I know Shakiri Austin did have a good year last year, but I don't know if you could, you might have to play them both. But then That's why I said, we're drafting Lauren Betts. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of fronts they got with her, Kiki Efron, Shakira Austin, because they're all over like 6'4", 6'5", So, but you got to have Lauren Betts on the court. I would think. I like what the Atlanta Dream did this offseason, of course, with Angel Reese bringing her over the trade. Um, I like the Medina Icot pick. You lose Brittany Griner, so you add another big in there to kind of replace some of those minutes and some of that, and somebody who still has upside, who's younger than Brittany
Yeah.
Griner. Brittany Griner's getting long in the tooth, so uh,
Hmm.
you get somebody who still can grow. You know what I'm saying? Medina's a very young player, so she could still grow into a player that could, eventually be, maybe a 15 a night, rebounds, block shots type player. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I'm gonna give love to the Las Vegas Aces. I think what they did, bringing back their core unit. Shout out to Asia Wilson being the highest paid player in WNBA history with the $5 million contract, 3 years. You bring back Jackie Young on the Supermax 1 year deal. You bring back Chelsea Gray. And then you sign Kennedy Carter. Even though it's on a training camp contract, I assume that she's gonna make the team. It was had to be something catastrophic for her not to make it. She had to like have a badass training camp or something like that. And then drafting Janae Barker, I think that's a steal. I think that if this girl can put it all together, then we're talking about somebody who can, not only eventually get on the court with Asia Wilson, but spell her too when she's off the court. You're not losing too much when you don't have Asia Wilson on the court because I think that she can give you some of those type of quality minutes and scoring and stuff like that. So I think that was a steal in the draft. And so same thing with Jordan Obi. I think Jordan Obi, she's somebody that can help as far as being on the wing. Depending on what happens to Jackie Young next year, maybe they're looking forward to like, hey, if Jackie Young's not here, maybe this Obi female can come in and step right in for Jackie Young when she's gone. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. So, and I'm with you with Chicago Sky, Skylar Diggins. You get Rakia Jackson. You get Ashford Stevens, you draft Gabriella Marquez. Like, I think Chicago Sky gets, rightfully so, they got a bad rep because they have not been a very good organization. But for them to take that Angel Reese trading, in the beginning when people saw she got traded, people were like, "Oh, here goes the Sky." But for them to bring in the Skylar Diggins, that was a big win right there. And then the trade for Rakia Jackson, who maybe with a fresh start, she could really start finding her footing, maybe that she really couldn't find with the Sparks. She can come to Chicago, and do her thing over in Chicago. Um, I'm really liking, what I'm saying, what Chicago Sky is doing. We'll see what happens, when they get on the court. But,
Hmm.
then add Camila Cardozo on there to see her growth in year, 3, I want to say. So,
Yep.
stock down. I'm going to go with the wing. I felt like, I like Ozzy Fudd, and I think that she's going to be an incredible player. But I personally think they should have went with a big. I think they should have went with a center to go with Paige Beckers. I get it. You want to keep Paige Beckers happy, but like we trying to win. And I'm not saying, and maybe we're wrong, and maybe we're sitting here and Paige and Ozzy become one of the greatest backcourts, and they take their team to a championship one day. Hey, I'm not mad at being wrong on that, but I still think that they should have went with a big. Lauren Betts, Owie fam, one of them. I would have went with that instead. So I think their stock is down, even though they weren't a good team last year. I don't think they got better with that. And then another stock down, even though I loved it. I like Raven Johnson, but I think that Indiana should have went with a front court player too. I think they got too many guards, but they already got enough
They
guards.
got a lot of guards. They got a lot of guards.
They don't need
A
another
lot of
guard.
guards. They don't
Now,
need
you
another
like I
guard.
said, if you want to say that, you know, when Raven can come off the bench, or when they need somebody to lock somebody down, fine. I get it. Raven Johnson can provide that, but it's just like I feel like you guys need a more big, a center, a forward, somebody who can get down in the blocks and help and give quality minutes down there. You got Aaliyah Boston, but I think you needed something else to help her out. So that's just my opinion. But outside of that, like you said, I'm not gonna get on, Connecticut Sun. They're moving to Houston, you know. they're just signing players just to get on the team. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the Connecticut Sun. I like what the Storm did. I like what who else? I like Olivia Miles going to the Lynx. I think that she's gonna fit right in uh, with Nafisha and all them. So I think Courtney Williams. I think they'll be fine. Satu going to New York Liberty. I think that was a good move. So she'll add to that squad. But it's not too many stock downs because Portland. I can't get on Portland. I can't get on Toronto. Like
Nah, they're newly established programs. You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe you could say maybe I wouldn't even say Mercury. I just think Mercury's kind of like just like in that middle ground
Yeah, they're like a plateau. They're like a
they
plateau.
just re-signed all their players. That's what they did.
Yeah. I'll say this. I'll say this. Before the Aces made the Kennedy card, the Kennedy signing, I was gonna be a little disappointed in this situation. I am happy with the fact of that they were able to get back the core, but it compared to what other teams were able to do, it seemed like the Aces were going to be like kind of like, all right, we're going to put everything on Asia Wilson again, and hopefully she can have another insane year. I'm just not comfortable with that. Not saying she can't do that. It's just that I want to prolong her career and kind of deny any possibility with those with possibility injuries. I'll say this: after sitting back and thinking about the whole Dallas Wings situation, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I hate that. I hate the Ozzy Fudd sign. I hate that Ozzy Fudd pick. I really do, and it's really nothing against her as a player. I think she's a top talent. I just think the fit with the team. I'm like, if you were gonna pick Ozzy Fudd, then why didn't you put Enrique on the trading block? You know what I mean? Like, you could have got more assets in that. Maybe you could have got maybe another first round pick in this draft, and you could have added. You could have been in maybe a position maybe to get a Lauren Betts or another situation. You know what I mean? Or position yourself for next year. It's just you have three of the same player, and then two of your top players now, Ozzy Fudd and Paige, are two players with injury past. So now you're relying on two players who have had severe knee injuries early on in their career, and that's going to be your front court. I'm just not really a fan. I don't understand the fit with all three of those ladies. I still think they have a lot of holes, especially in their front court. So honestly, I ain't gonna lie, man. The more and more I thought about it, I'm just really not a fan of that pick. If I had to give it a grade, I would give it honestly like a C minus. Honestly, because only it would be lower than that, but I'm only giving a C minus because I know the potential of an Ozzy Fudd and Paige backcourt can be really special if they can figure out the fitting with Enrique and that whole situation. But I still think this team is going to be a lottery team next year. I don't see this team competing for a playoff spot or anything like that. And then, by the grace of God, I hope these young ladies don't have any more injuries at least with their legs. But you have to throw a red flag at that a little bit when you got your two superstars with strong injury paths as they both do.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I would have took Lauren Betts or Ari Fam at that spot instead of Ozzy Fudd. I think Ozzy would have been better served to go somewhere else herself. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. We'll see.
Let me ask you, I've been seeing a little bit of heat going Paige's way about the with them getting Ozzy Fudd, and obviously we know the relationship that they have. Do you think that's justifiable? Do you think they need to win with them two pairing up, especially how I think when people really sit back and think about that pick, about how they could have won it about a different way?
I mean, I can't tell nobody not to be mad. If you're a Dallas Wing fan, I can't tell you, oh, you shouldn't be. You can't be mad. You can't be angry at it because I feel like they should have went a different direction themselves. But we've seen it in sports all across the world, man. The star is gonna get who they want. You know what I'm saying? Even at sometimes to the detriment to the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can speak to that, with your Lakers. Sometimes LeBron makes some moves and it's from LeBron and you may not care for it, but hey, he did it. He got rid of some players. He wanted to bring some players in. And we've seen other stars do it too. You know what I'm saying? They want to. Tom Brady was notorious, man. I don't like dude. I don't like this receiver. Get him up out of here. I want this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen it. You know, even Patrick Mahomes, if he wants somebody, they gonna go get him.
Yeah, but the difference is they want chips. they want professional championships. It's a little bit different when you're coming off a rookie year and
That's true.
you
That's
were
true.
the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I hear you. And like I said, I can't begrudge anybody who feels that way.
No.
But we'll see. Like I said, we might be sitting here with egg on our face and they in the playoffs.
Nah, look, I'm not gonna hold it. That's why I gave it a C-, but it's gonna be very interesting to see how they all fit together, and especially if you see the likes of Lauren Betts who can perform and she becomes Rookie of the Year or something like that. It would have been a better foundational piece if you would have got that centerpiece solidified. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You want someone that's close to you to be really close with you, and but at the end of the day, this is a professional sports team, and I get it. They play with each other, so they kind of know what it's about. But I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. They could have went in a different way, but at the end of the day, they made their choice, and they'll have to see what happens with that. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Enrique is on the trading block sometime this year or even next year. I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't see the fit, and I can't see Enrique coming off the bench. I personally can't see that.
No, I don't see it either. And I'm not sitting here to tell you you're wrong the way you felt before the Kennedy Carter signing with Aces. I just think the Aces was going into this year like, look, Melissa Smith, she was a mid year trade. We're banking on her year 2 in this system. She'll be better. She knows the system now. She knows how things work. I think they're banking on Cheyenne to come back. She was pregnant last year. She's coming off of pregnancy. She's going to be in way better shape. She can provide that center, because that's what me and you have been griping about. Man, they need somebody to play the center role so that Asia could play power forward and she could get help down in the blocks. And I just think they're banking on these two girls. That one was a mid-year trade and the other one was pregnant. So I think they're going to come in this year, be better. At the very least, if both of them can provide block shots and rebounds and a few points between the two, that'd be an upgrade from what we got from, whatever center was there last year. You know what I'm saying? And then even Breonna Taylor, another, veteran forward center that they brought in too. So I just think that's what they're banging on. They could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? They could be wrong, but I'm just saying, I think that's what the Aces are looking at. Like, look, these girls, they'll be better this year. So
yeah, I hear you. Again, like, look, I'm not gonna. The Aces are those are my girls. Those are my. I'm gonna rock with them no matter what. But sometimes I got to speak of what it is. Sometimes the Aces make some head scratching roster moves sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's just like they've benefited from the fact of just how great Asia and Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray have performed in the playoffs, and just how great that threesome has been. And you got to look at the beginning of last year. This team was just underperforming so bad, to the point where we're like, all right, it's getting to the point where, Cris, I remember me and you were having conversations like, is this the time where they might consider trading Asia Wilson? Like, is this the time? You know what I mean? Like,
I was more so Jackie Young. I was like,
but I'm just saying, but it gets to the situation where does she even want to be here? Like, if it's going to be this bad, you know what I mean? Because they were performing to the point where I'm like, damn, we might be like a top 3, top 2 pick at this point, the way we were playing, and then something just switched. You know what I mean? Like, and then they went on that amazing run, and they look like a complete team. Now, could have been a situation where maybe their legs just weren't underneath them in the beginning of the year. I know they were kind of dealing with injuries with Chelsea Gray and all that stuff like that, and all that. But so maybe that could have been the whole situation. But we'll see. I'm very curious to see how they start off this year, coming off the championship. Do they kind of have that slow start again, or do they come back, fiery like they did? I think with Kennedy, she's going to add that fire and spark. Obviously, the main thing with her is just the locker room chemistry with her. You know what I mean? But I think there's so much veteran leadership and just kind of the vibes in there. I think people always gravitate. Asia Wilson is a gravitational force that I think people I think is the easy bond for her. If she can't get along with Asia, then I think her days in the league are just kind of done. I mean, personally, she can't.
I think the 3 core Her,
Yeah,
Chelsea, and Jackie.
and
Well,
Jackie, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I think
And
that
then hell, even
they ain't gonna take no bullshit. So
like honestly, like I'll say this, Kyle Kuzma, that's your job. Make sure that she gets along with everybody because that's all you're gonna be doing is on the bench. So make sure the vibes is right.
I
This
hope
is where you
KB
get
goes
paid.
off this shit. I hope KB goes off this shit, dog. I don't see 15 off the bench,
How
man.
much you wanna? I'll bet you. I'll put a $5 bet. She don't. I think she'll average more than 5 points.
I ain't betting that. You crazy. I'm just
All right.
saying. I hope that
All right.
happens.
Just make sure the vibes is right. Make sure the
I
vibes.
hope you got to give praise to KB
At this point,
every week.
maybe that was the whole point of her bringing her back, man. She's gonna be tagging. She's gonna be on Kennedy's hip, and maybe she'll just keep the vibes going and shit like that. So I don't know. We'll see what's up.
But you know, the Kennedy Carter will be a dope little 6-man spark. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if Asia's not going down, you know, every player has a
Jackie,
bad every player has a
I mean?
bad night. And
Like if
sometimes
Chelsea Gray go down, you know what I'm saying? She could
that
fit in
too.
with that.
Now you got that spark off the bench, or even, you know, somebody who can come in and give quality minutes, and you know that could score. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When she was with the Chicago Sky, she was scoring 17 a game. You know what I'm saying? And it was an all-star. So
yeah, her and Dana Evans, man, that's gonna be a fierce tandem coming off that bench, man. We know how fiery Dana Evans can be and how tough she is. So with her and Kennedy, as long as her head is on right, you know what I mean. I think Kennedy gets a lot of flack, especially the whole situation with Caitlin Clark, and I was on her side that time because I think Caitlin was just egging that shit on, and people had her on this princess totem pole type shit, and I think people started really recognizing that. But at the end of the day, man, I think Kennedy will be fine. I'm not really worried about her, honestly. I think she'll be fine. I think she's a true professional. She just has she has a fiery spirit that I think certain teams need, and that if it's used in the proper way, man, she could be a lighting torch for this team and give it jet fuel that we haven't seen in a long time. You know what I mean? So, and that's coming off a championship run that they were able to do. This team could be better. This team could be 100% better. Imagine if the team last year started out the way they kind of finished, like, and they could have consistently kept that going on. That like it would have been no doubt that they were going to win the WNBA championship, but. We'll see, man. We'll see. When the season kicks off in what, like 2-3 weeks, something like that. So when preseason start?
That's a good question. Let's find out. April 25th.
April 25th. All right.
So in the coming weeks, we'll have to do our predictions and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to that mark. I just saw the score. Bitch, I guess we're gonna see Ty Lue tomorrow, boy. That boy gonna be at the crap table tomorrow, boy.
All right, well, while we talking about it, let's talk some NBA news.
Yeah, man, NBA news, man. So we'll start it off with this. Yesterday, the play-ins began. Starting off with an amazing game between the Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets ended up winning in overtime 126-127 with LaMelo Ball lay-in that gave them the 1-point lead. And then obviously they got the chase down block at the other end to seal the win. But the biggest news of that game was obviously an incident that happened between LaMelo Ball and Bam Adebayo. LaMelo was driving in for a layup, got knocked down. Bam was right behind him, and as he was kind of hopping a little bit back, trying to maybe pass the ball back in bounds, LaMelo Ball ended up grabbing his ankle and ended up making him fall, giving him a lower back injury. Obviously, there was a lot of commotion about it. You know, I think it's been like the number one topic on a lot of sports shows where, you know, people have been condemning LaMelo Ball. You know, Nick Wright kind of went off and, you know, said his stuff. A lot of people have been, you know, talking about that whole situation. What are your thoughts with that whole situation? Obviously, he did get fined $60,000. He's not going to get suspended. He will be able to play on Friday. I think they upgraded to flagrant 1, I believe. So overall, do you think he should have got suspended, or do you think they made the right call just finding him and allowing him to play on Friday?
I think they made the right call. You know, just fine him. You know, I don't think it was egregious enough to where he, you know, had to be suspended. Like he dropped dude on his neck, bust him upside his head or something like that. That'd have been different. But you know, I think he was just more of a reaction type deal. But you know, hopefully Bam is okay. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah,
I'm sure he'll be fine. Asia will rub that $5 million all over him, dog. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I'm sure he got some great vibes going on over there.
but yeah, I wouldn't have suspended him. You need LaMelo Ball in the playoffs.
No, I agree with you. I think at the end of the day was should have been called like a flagrant run or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. It was a careless play on LaMelo Ball's part. I know there are Miami Heat fans who found another video from, I don't know if it was like last year or a couple years ago, where there was like another incident where LaMelo Ball kind of did the same thing. Overall, I don't think LaMelo Ball has a track record like that. It's not like he's like Draymond Green. It's not like he's Isaiah Stewart or anything like that. But you're unless if my man punched him in the nuts or something like that, he's not getting suspended, bro. LaMelo Ball's gonna be in there, and the Hornets are an exciting team, man. They got an opportunity to actually make the playoffs for the first time in like 10 years or something like that. So NBA made the right call. Next up, the Trailblazers played the Suns yesterday. This was for the chance to play the San Antonio Spurs in the first round. And Denny Avia had an amazing game. He ended up scoring 41 points, 7 rebounds, and 12 assists to give the win to the Portland Trailblazers, 114-110. Huge win for the Portland Trailblazers, especially everything that has gone on with them all year. Obviously, they had the whole situation with Chauncey Billups losing their head coach in the beginning part of their year, Damian Lillard being out with the Achilles injury and stuff like that. So my question to you, sir, is how much competition do you think this Trailblazers team could give the San Antonio Spurs?
0. It was a good story while it lasted. This is where the roadblock stops, man.
Yeah.
But shout out to the Trailblazers, man. They are young, nice, scrappy young team. They got some players on there. You're getting Dame Lillard back next season. So you're gonna get your leader back. And you guys are gonna add some players, in the draft and in the offseason. So Trailblazers will be fine. They'll be fine next year. They'll be a fun team next year.
Nah, they're a fun team now. I'm not gonna lie, they're a fun team now. Could they be scrappy? Yeah, I can honestly maybe see a gentleman's sweep. Maybe they might surprise them. Portland maybe at home. Maybe they might steal a home game or anything like that. Do I think they have any chance of being the San Antonio Spurs? No. The only reason why I give them one game is just because the youth of the San Antonio Spurs. This is gonna be their first true test as far as like being in the playoffs. So they may not have that killer instinct, but I think with Victor Wembanyama, he's going to be ready. He's been in a lot of big games in his life, and I think with that coaching staff, man, they're going to have that team ready. But overall, man, I think this is an amazing story from the Portland Trailblazers, especially everything that they had to go through. And shout out to the Tiago Splitter, man. As Mark said, he should easily be a candidate for Coach of the Year, especially the situation that he was put in, taking over for Chauncey Billups with him and his whole situation in the gambling conspiracy.
As my man Stephen A. used to say, Tiago Splitter.
Yeah. He put some respect on that name, Stephen A. Put some name. All right, next up tonight, man, we had another set of pair of games. We had the Magic versus the 76ers. Obviously, the 76ers did not have Joel Embiid because he had to deal with the appendicitis. Hopefully, he'll be able to come back. Because the 76ers won 109-97. Tyrese Maxey had a hell of a game with 31.6 assists. Shout out to Desmond Bane, though. He did give the Magic a fight with 34 points. But the 76ers did manage to win, and they will be facing the Boston Celtics. And then the nightcap was the Warriors against the Clippers. And then, we saw Mark break the news that the Clippers folded. And surprisingly, the Warriors won, man. Steph Curry looked like Steph Curry with 35 points, winning that game 126-121. Again, we'll probably see Ty Lue here tomorrow at the crab table. So shout out to Ty. We'll say what up, baby. So with all that being said, sir, we got the brackets going on, man. And I kind of want to get your prediction, man. Who you think is going to win? So I'll start it off, man. We'll start it off with obviously with the Thunder. They have the potential of playing either the Suns or the Warriors. Number one, who would you have winning that game, Suns or Warriors, to face the Oklahoma City Thunder to get beat in the first round?
I guess the Warriors.
I'll probably pick the Warriors too, man, with Steph Curry back, man. I think they have a shot.
I mean, if he's gonna play like that, then yeah, why not?
And then obviously you would have them losing to the Thunder, right?
Nah, man, it's gonna be smoking session.
Okay, okay.
They rolling that pack up right now.
All right, and then obviously you did say that the Spurs would lose to the Spurs would beat the Trailblazers, so we have that. Next series we have a great series, the Nuggets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Who do you have winning that series?
I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna maybe. I would say the Nuggets in 6.
Nuggets in 6. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I'm not mad. I think it's gonna go 7, but I think the Nuggets will win, especially with Anthony Edwards dealing with that knee injury. We don't know how healthy he is. And then next up, my Lakers without Luka and Austin Reeves, but with the 41-year-old LeBron James that's hooping. Going up against Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets, my Lakers are the 4th seed, so they will have home court advantage. Who do you have winning that series?
Is Austin Reeves playing?
Luka and Austin Reeves had the potential to play in this series, but they have to extend it.
I'm gonna go Rockets in 6.
Rockets in 6. Okay. Yeah, I'm not making my prediction on that. I think we have a shot because I do not trust the Rockets, and they have no point guard. So yeah. He is out indefinitely, but he was practicing a little bit today, so that was a positive sign. All right, next up, Magic versus Hornets. That will be the winner will get a chance to play the Pistons in the first round. Who do you have winning that game in the play?
No, give me the Hornets.
Hornets. All right, so you
I
got
don't
the
see
Hornets.
Desmond Bain having 35 again.
No. And then now, since you have the Hornets, they would play the Pistons in the first round. I cannot wait to watch that if that really happens. I really want that to happen.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a fun. Who do you have winning that series?
I'm gonna go Pistons in 5.
Pistons in 5. All right. Next up, we have the Cavaliers versus the Toronto Raptors. Who do you got?
Yawn. I'm gonna go Cavs in 6.
Cavs in 6. Okay. So then you have Pistons versus Cavs in the second round. All right, next up, we got the Celtics versus the 76ers. I think Joel Embiid has a chance to come back, probably middle of the round. Who do you got winning that series?
I'm gonna go Boston in 7.
Boston in 7. Okay, I'm not mad at that. And then the final round, the final one, we got the Knicks versus the
Mark Celtics.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mark tripping, man. Mark on that yak again, bro. You on that? Mark tripping again. Bro. Who do you got? Celtic, Knicks or Hawks?
Knicks in 6.
All right, Knicks in 6. All right, so in the second round, you would have the Pistons versus the Cavaliers. Who would you have winning that series?
Who? Pistons and Cavaliers?
Yeah.
Give me Pistons in 6.
Pistons in 6, and then then you would have the Knicks versus the Celtics in the second round. Who would you have?
Woo! I'm going Celtics in 6.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
going to lead to Giannis going to the Knicks.
Giannis going to the Knicks. All right, and then in the championship round in the East, you have the Pistons versus the Celtics. Who do you got, man? Going to the NBA Finals.
My man healthy, man. Give me Pistons in 7, baby.
I ain't mad. So we got the Pistons making the championship out of the East. In the West, man, in the second round conference semifinals, you have the Thunder versus the Rockets. Who do you got?
Give me the Thunder in 6.
Thunder in 6. And in the bottom lower half of the bracket, you have the Denver Nuggets versus the San Antonio Spurs.
That's tough.
That's going to be a nice one, boy. Who do you got?
I'm going young boys, though. Give me Spurs in 7.
There you go. All right. So we got the heavyweight matchup. This is the one we all been waiting for. Remember, San Antonio Spurs won that season series, I think, 3-1 or 4-1? Who do you got, man? Thunder or the Spurs making it to the NBA Finals?
Shout out to the Thunder, man. Y'all a great team. I'm going Spurs in 7, baby. This is Wemby's time, dog.
All right,
Wemby's
time. All
time.
right, so we got the Spurs versus the Detroit Pistons. Remember that matchup? I think it happened in like 2004 or something like 2004, 2005. The most boring NBA final series of all time with Chauncey Billups and Tayshaun Prince and Tim Duncan and all that. I think this series will be a little bit more funner than that. So you got San Antonio Spurs versus the Detroit Pistons in the NBA Finals, sir. Who do you have winning it all?
This is tough. David Robinson, Tim Duncan about to be proud, y'all. Spurs and 7, dog.
So my man Chris Styles has the San Antonio Spurs beating the Detroit Pistons, and those will be his NBA champions of this year. Not mad at the Pistons. I'm super excited for the NBA playoffs to start. Obviously, they have already started. All the games in the play-in, all the games in the play-ins have been amazing. They've been top tier. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to finish watching the Warriors game, but the way it looked like it was a good game towards the end. And man, that's it, man. That's it for all NBA news today.
For sure. Take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
Shout out to Madness Sports Drink. All right, man. Let's do our BetUs Surefire picks. What you got, man?
All right, man. I got a couple baseball joints for you. I got the Pirates -1.5 over the Nationals. I got the Rays -1.5 over the White Sox, and I got them Brewers 1.5 over the Blue Jays.
I'm taking the Hornets 3.5 over the Magic. I got the Wolves +6 over the Nuggets and Lakers +5 over the Rockets. If you go to any of our social media platforms, you'll see the BetUs link. Go ahead and click on it. First time users owner, sign up, put your promo code in, join 125. You get 125% sign-in bonus, plus 10% gambler's insurance. That's 3 risk-free bets on $100 up to $5,000. That means if you bet $100 on your first 3 deposits and you lose, you keep your money. So you can win some money or keep your money on your first 3 deposits. Go ahead, sign up. Tell them Chris Mall sent you. And that does it for our BetUs Surefire picks. And now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Sweeping the Nation. Mall's Random News. It is now time for Mall's Random News.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We all know what time it is. My favorite time of the week, y'all's favorite time of the week, and Chris's favorite time of the week. A lot of topics that don't make it to the main roster, but they do make it on Random News, and we do love hearing Chris's opinion. So, sir, are you ready for this week's Random News?
Let's get it.
All right, man. So today was Jackie Robinson Day, and or was it today or yesterday?
Yeah, it was
today was Jackie Robinson Day. Shout out to Jackie Robinson and all that. So my question to you, sir, is where does Jackie Robinson rank amongst your most inspirational, impactful players of all time?
Top five. He's definitely up there. He's definitely top five, man. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be able to cross those color barriers. You know what I'm saying? In sports, period. You know, especially in baseball. And he was the one who crossed that line. You know what I'm saying? To make it able for black players to get recognized in a sport that was highly, white predominant. You know what I'm saying? So uh, got to definitely put him top five up there with the Muhammad Ali's and guys like that, Bill Russell, guys like that who, changed the game, So, yeah, he's got to be top five, definitely.
No, I totally agree. Totally agree. All right, next up, with the Clippers' loss, breaking news: the Oklahoma City Thunder now have another lottery pick due to the Clippers' loss. What are your thoughts with this, man? Thunder getting richer again.
Dog, how many draft picks did these dudes got?
They got enough, dog. They got enough, man. They got enough, man. They got a lot.
Like, who sold they sold over there to get all these draft picks?
This was from the Paul George trade. So,
Jesus Christ, man! Like, Lord forgive me for using the name in vain, but damn, they about to get a top 10 pick?
We don't know yet. Obviously, we got to wait to the lottery. It'll be put in the lottery. They could. It's gonna be a lower lottery pick, but they might get the chance to get the number 1 overall pick.
That wouldn't be fair, though.
I think they can. I don't know if it's like top 3 protector or anything like that, but they got a chance. I think they got a chance. But yeah. All right, next up, man. Seems like a couple outlets have been reporting DJ Academics. He tweeted saying that Iceman is on the way. Anthony Fontano, he's been like one of the well-known guys who does a lot of music reviews. He got a source saying that Iceman could be dropping in the next 36 hours. What's your thoughts, man? What's your anticipation for Drake and Iceman, and how important is this album for him personally?
My anticipation, I would say it's about a 7. But importance is very high. If this album's not good, this is not good for Drake. If the consensus is this album is weak or it's trash or it's mid, that's not good for Drake.
Yeah,
it might be over, dog.
Yeah. And I'll add this on top of that. Game, he made some remarks saying that Drake's absence is hurting hip hop, and the culture is down 50% without him. So, how important is this Drake album for hip hop as a whole?
I'm not gonna go all the way there, because I don't think that Drake was predicated on hip hop hits. He's more so just hits. Period. Most of his hits were singing and the songs for the ladies type stuff. Like he was good for the summer. Now, if you want to say as far as the hits go, yeah, Drake may be missing from the game. But as far as hip hop goes, like I think he's been further and further away from that for a long time now. Like I'm not saying he don't rap. He don't make rap songs, but most of his hits are not like hip hop backpack rap. Like that's not.
Yeah.
Nah. So I disagree with that.
Yeah. No, I feel it. I feel it. All right, next up, per Bloomberg, Spirit Airlines is at risk of being liquidated as rising jet fuel prices spurred by the U.S. war with Iran further squeezes the bankrupt budget carrier's finances, according to a couple sources. Obviously, Spirit has been known for being one of the cheaper airlines to, take flights and all that stuff like that. What do you think this means for the impact of airlines as a whole, with Spirit Airlines potentially, closing the shop for good?
I mean, you're going to have to go to another airline, United. You want one of them, Southwest, maybe. I don't know, Delta. But, it is what it is, man. This war is going to mess up certain, smaller companies that probably can't afford, the higher prices. And, they get their oil wholesale. If they can't afford that, then I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, yeah, for sure. Next up, man, seems like layoffs are becoming the norm now. Social media, Snapchat platform said Wednesday it's eliminating about 16% of its global workforce. That's 1,000 jobs. ESPN has made layoffs. Meta has made layoffs. Amazon has made layoffs. Disney, Netflix, Warner Brothers, BBC, whole bunch of layoffs, man. What obviously we know what this means, but overall, what do you think this means, especially in the entertainment industry with the likes of Disney, Netflix, and Warner Brothers, with these massive layoffs?
Man, these companies do that, man, so they got to have cutbacks somewhere because they got to budget it somewhere else. It's got to go here. It's got to go there. So they got to unfortunately lay people off and take people's jobs. And it's an unfortunate situation, but that's what they do. They big corporations. If they see that they need the money for this, they gonna take it, and they gonna be like, all right, we're gonna eliminate these jobs, eliminate these people, so we can take that money and use it over here. So it's not it's an unfortunate situation, but that's what big companies do.
Do you think this is a brutal sign that AI is going to be the main driving force for a lot of these movies being created?
I wouldn't be surprised. It's an unfortunate situation because the thing with AI, look, AI can be used as a tool, and that's why I think it should be used as a tool. But I don't think it should be the main cog of you using it to create your, whether it be music, movies, anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could use it as a tool. Hell, I mean, I use ChatGPT for stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I don't use it to a point of I'm just taking everything that it says. I'll use whatever the foundation, and then I'll formulate what I want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not always accurate. They're not always right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and then AI doesn't have soul. They don't have no soul. They don't know personally. They go off algorithm and what they feel like it sells, or what it feels like it should be right. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how it makes a person feel and all that stuff because they don't have a soul. So, and you can tell when ChatGPT does something and when a regular person does something, you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? You feel the soul from that person. So, yes, do I think that they're going to use it? But hopefully they don't use it as a crutch. They use it as a tool.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. You couldn't say it better. Next up, man, per Box Azteca, Canelo Alvarez has revealed his next fight will take place on September 12th in Saudi Arabia and says he wants to face a champion. With that being said, who do you think could potentially be his next opponent, and who would you like to see?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know who he can fight. Bivol, maybe Bivol. That's the only other person I would want him to fight.
Yeah.
That's it. Maybe Bitter Beef.
Yeah.
I don't even think he would fight him.
Yeah.
Because he could really knock you out. So, but it may make for a good fight. I don't see him fighting the champion. I see them putting him against that other Saudi Arabian dude that knocked out what's his name. I think that's who he's gonna fight. I think it was named Al Shahiz or whatever his name is. I think he's gonna fight him next.
Okay. What's your anticipation for a Canelo fight? Is this a must see or you don't care?
I think it's over now. I think he should have retired after the Crawford fight.
Yeah. But we know he was going to go out like that. I think he can still get over $100 million left on that contract. Next up, AMC Theaters has announced that starting July 15th, AMC Stubs A-List monthly subscription cost will increase to $29.99 per month. What are your thoughts with this? Are you an AMC guy?
No, I'm Fandango. I am Fandango guy. But I'm not surprised. They always raise the prices on stuff. I think they just raised the price on HBO Max or Netflix.
Everything going up.
YouTube.
Soon
just got raised.
Soon they're about to charge you to breathe there. You're gonna have to have a monthly subscription for that. Next up, per Bloody Disgusting Twitter, an interactive slasher movie called Slay Day will be released in around 1,000 theaters nationwide on February 12th, 2027, said to be one of the first ever large-scale rollouts of an interactive film. Set on Friday the 13th in 1987, you use your phone to control who lives and dies. So question to you is would this be something that you're interested in, and would you like to see more of interactive films?
Uh, I would have to see how this one goes. I mean, you know what this remind me of? Those games that they do, Heavy Rain,
Oh yeah.
Until Dawn, where you got to
Mm-hmm.
make a decision. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It may not be on your phone, but
Yeah.
you make a decision, and whatever decision you make plays out a different way or whatever. So it's probably going to play out like that. You know what I'm saying? Which, I mean, it could be fun. You go out to eat, especially if, go there a little loaded, get a little lit, go down there, have a little fun.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm very curious about it because it could be the new wave as far as like especially horror films, you know what I mean? I think this could be kind of a fun way to
So
interact with
do
them.
they go off like who has the more votes of which way they gonna go?
I would assume it will probably be a voting thing.
Because what if you could choose something and not? It's a different
Yeah,
way.
it could be a voting thing. I'm just curious to see how they go about it. Like, because like in certain voting aspects, could it ruin maybe like a scene or something like
Yeah.
that, or how quick do you need to put in this vote? Like how interactive is it really? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of questions. Like, can you literally dictate every single
Is
point
it
of?
like a video game? Like when they ask you, so, hey man, what you want to do?
Yeah. And then I don't know. Like, is this gonna be like an animated movie? Is this a situation where it's like real people, but they just have different scenarios based on what it's voted, and does it make it look choppy when you know what I mean? When this movie was kind of directed to maybe director may have thought like this scene might have been more cut, that more people might have voted for this kind of particular thing, so they made it a little bit more seamless. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. If it hits a Vegas theater, I think I would do it. I think I would go check it
Oh,
out
you
just
would
to
definitely
see,
go to the
just
experience.
go for the experience. You know?
They should make it 40x. You do it in 40x, it really be fun.
Yeah. So, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. And then hopefully the plot is good, because if the plot is ass, then
Yeah.
that's just fine. And then on top of that, the only thing that's another worry is that no one takes anything serious, so they gonna kill the black guy quick. Yeah, that motherfucker quick. Quick. Even though that already happens in regular movies anyway. All right, next up, the AP, New York AP, with the whole situation between Ticketmaster and Live Nation, the jury came to a decision, and they said that they did have an anti-competitive monopoly over big concert venues. That's with Ticketmaster and Live Nation. What are your thoughts with this verdict, and what do you potentially think this means for the future?
Say that again.
So obviously, you know about the whole thing with the trial with Ticketmaster and Live Nation about the control with the concert venues and stuff like that. So they did make a decision, and they said they were anti-competitive. They did have an anti-competitive monopoly over big concert venues.
Honestly, I don't know what this about. I mean, are they gonna like do something? Are they gonna reprimand Ticketmaster? Are they gonna refund people money back? What they gonna do?
I don't know. It could be a situation where obviously they had to control about. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know what this means for the future, but I think it's something to keep an eye on. But I just thought that was interesting. Next up, the NBA regular season viewership is up 16% its first year on its new TV deals. What are your thoughts with this, man? Obviously, there's been a lot of conversations about the NBA has been failing and all that, but numbers have been saying otherwise. How have you liked the new TV deals that they had, obviously with NBC and stuff like that? How do you think it's trending in the right direction?
I mean, yeah, I think it's trending in the right direction. I mean, this is the new wave. This is the new, everything is on streaming service now. So this is what it is, man. So you got to get used to it. So I think people are adapting to it. And people are sick and tired of it, but
yeah,
this is life.
Yeah. Yep. Next up, Reebok, man, they officially signed NCAA champion and former UCLA star Lauren Betts, and now is set to suit up for the Washington Mystics. She will have her. I think she will eventually have her own Reebok sneaker line. What are your thoughts with this, man? With Lauren Betts getting the Reebok deal?
Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? She deserves it. She's one of the new faces of the WNBA, and she just won a championship. So it's a college basketball championship. So yeah, man. Shout out to her, man. You know, I think a lot of these girls are gonna get there. I think Raven Johnson got a deal too with Adidas. So
Mhm.
good for her.
Yeah,
Good for
yeah,
them.
shout out to both of them. Yeah, shout out to those ladies. Next up, Hall of Famer Cheryl Miller has been hired by NBC to be a studio analyst when it begins broadcasting WNBA games this season. The network has announced, man. So, what's your excitement level of seeing Cheryl Miller being part of the team for the new up and coming WNBA season?
It's good. I like Cheryl Miller. I love her insight, man. She's, you know, the greatest player that we didn't really get to see play. Well, we all
Mhm.
know what she represents, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if she was able to play in the WNBA, we'd be talking about her like we talk about Jordan.
Yep,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
So,
That's
and we
true.
still talk about her like she's Jordan because
She is. People
you know
know.
what I'm saying. She was just that great. It's great. It's good to hear her insight. She's very knowledgeable of the game. Whenever she speaks, people listen. So it's
Yeah.
good to get her on the broadcast.
Yeah, hopefully she won't be annoying like her brother, but you know, man, I think she'll do an amazing job. All right, next up, Maryland has passed a new legislation allowing every parent to take 12 weeks paid leave starting in 2028 to take care of sick children, mental health children with mental health, personal issues, pregnancy, and more. What are your thoughts with Maryland approving this new 12-week paid leave for parents?
That's dope. You can do that worldwide.
Yeah,
Yeah, kids get sick all the damn time, man.
yeah.
So yeah, man, they need to have more.
Nah, I agree, especially with single parent homes and stuff like that, and opportunity where it might be tough for them to take time off to spend time with their kid or take care of them when they're sick or anything like that. I think that's an amazing move. This should be government bound. This should be something that's nationwide. You know what I mean? So shout out to Maryland. Next up, a new Longlegs movie is in the works. Star Nicolas Cage will reprise his role. It's not a sequel, but it will be set in the same universe as Longlegs. What are your thoughts with this, man? Would this be something that would intrigue you? Another Longlegs?
I don't know. I think those movies you gotta let that just sit, man. Like unless you're doing a prequel.
I think with the movie, it did have the door open for a possible.
I mean, it did, because old girl, at the end, she just, the little demon thing was sitting on the couch, and she just left the house with the baby. But still,
I would assume with Nicolas Cage being in it, it would be about probably like years before the original Longlegs movie was out, especially since he like killed himself. Spoiler alert if no one has watched it, but it's been out for a while. So, all right, next up, man, Dave Chappelle says he's considering bringing back the Chappelle Show. Somebody was asking him when he had a ribbon cutting ceremony, he said that quote, "If you told me a year ago, I would have told you absolutely not, but over the past few weeks, I'm considering it." What's your thoughts with this, man? Should Dave Chappelle bring back the Chappelle Show or not?
I'm not mad at it. I personally think he should just put some money behind Drewski and just let Drewski have his own show and do something like that.
Okay, I had both of them on that.
I mean, he couldn't appear on there, but I'm just saying, like, I think that I don't know how this version of Chappelle would look on a skit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when he was doing the Chappelle Show, he was younger, it was fresh, it was different. Now with the internet and social media, people do their own skits every day. So I think Drewski kind of cornered the market with those type of skits.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's obviously got a big budget from somebody to be able to go into some of the places that he gets to go to and do his skits. But I would. I mean, if he does it, of course, people are going to watch. I'm just scared that it's not going to look like Chappelle's show. You know what I'm saying? Like those moments were just different, and it was like, I don't know, it was just different.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Times were different. It was just.
I agree, but at the same time, I think in today's climate, a Chappelle show is much needed. Whether it's a Drewski version, whether it's a Chappelle version, whether it's a combination of both of those guys, I think in today's climate, I think it's something that is desperately needed, especially for some comedic relief, especially with everything that's going on in the world. So hopefully they can get that going. All right, next up, man. Dianna Russini, NFL reporter. Obviously, she had the whole thing with Mike Vrabel. She officially resigned from the Athletic. Less than a week after the photos came out. She did drop a statement. I'll read that. Here's her resignation letter. She says, "Dear Stephen, please accept this letter as my resignation from the Athletic, effective immediately. I have come to this decision with deep sadness, but with clarity about what is right for me, my family, and the work I have spent my career building. You and I have already publicly addressed the recent attacks against me. I have nothing to add publicly to what we have said. I have covered the NFL with professionalism, dedication throughout my career, and I stand behind every story I have ever published. When the page six item first appeared, the Athletic supported me unequivocally, expressed confidence in my work and pride in my journalism, for what I am grateful for. In the days that followed, unfortunately, commentators in various media have engaged in self-feeding speculation that is simply unmoored from facts. Moreover, this media frenzy um, is hurting forward without regard for the review process that the Athletic is trying to complete. It continues to escalate, fueled by repeated leaks, and I have no interest in submitting to a public inquiry that has already caused far more damage than I'm willing to accept. Rather than following this to continue, I have decided to step aside now before my current contract expires on June 30th. I do so not because I accept the narrative that has been constructed around this episode, but because I refuse to lend it any further oxygen, or to let it define me or my career. Over a career spanning more than 15 years in sports journalism at NBC, ESPN, and The Athletic, I have built a body of work that I'm proud of. I have broken stories, earned trust of sources across the league, and have been guided by the highest standards of professional conduct. That record speaks for itself. I'm grateful to the Athletic for the extraordinary colleagues with who I have worked for the platform it's provided, and for the support you've showed me during this difficult time. I wish you nothing but continued success." What's your thought with Dianna Russini, man? Do you think her career is over? Do you think she resigned, or do you think she just got ahead of it before she got
Uh, do I think her career is over? No, I don't. I think that she will bounce back some way somehow. Um, but I do think that her contract was going to expire in June. I do think they weren't going to renew her contract, so I just think she got ahead of it. I don't discount, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard other countless reporters and people in her field that say that, she's good at her job. She's great at her job. You know what I'm saying? She's not, this Mike Vrabel situation is not indicative of her work. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, I just got to go off of what her peers have said about her. So,
Yeah.
um, it's an unfortunate situation. You know what I'm saying? The optics don't look good, and then people digging up old videos of her saying certain stuff about her husband and all that stuff, like in her relationship. It just doesn't look good as far as the optics go. But I pray, though, that both of them can, find some peace in this and figure out their situation. If there is issues, maybe they need to go to counseling or whatever, or whatever. I hope that the worst doesn't happen from this, a divorce or anything like that. But I do think she'll bounce back on her feet. She'll get another job. She probably just laying low, step away from a little bit, but I think she'll bounce back and she'll have another job probably by football season starts or something like that, or maybe next year sometime.
Yeah, I think she'll at least start a YouTube channel or something like that.
Yeah,
Now, as far as like with her contacts, as far as like sources with the NFL, I'll be curious to see if that continues. But in other situations, man, hey man, prayers out to everybody involved, man, and hopefully they can all find peace. All right, next up, man, seems like NBC may be at risk of losing Sunday Night Football broadcasting rights to Netflix or Amazon. Obviously, I think their deal goes until 2033, I believe, or somewhere around there. But it seems like the NFL may be getting ahead of it. What are your thoughts with this, man? If NBC were to lose Sunday Night Football, would this be bad, good? And out of the two between Netflix or Amazon, who would you like to see get that if it were to happen?
If you wanted my honest opinion, I want it on Netflix. and I think that's where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Because Amazon already got Thursday night football. Well, no,
Yeah.
put what's the name on Netflix?
More people have Netflix than I think Amazon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
put on Netflix, man.
yeah. No, I agree. But I wouldn't mind if it stayed on NBC.
I would love it for it to stay on NBC. I think NBC does a really good job with Sunday night football.
They do an amazing job. I
Might
know
be the
people will
best
probably.
channel.
Nah, yeah. I still think ESPN's production, Monday Night Football. I think the sounds on the field are better. Troy Aikman and all those guys, man. I think they do an amazing job. But I think NBC does a good job. All right, man. More news out of the FIFA World Cup. Obviously, they've been having issues with tickets and all that stuff like that. And now they have a new problem. It seems like obviously they've banned tailgating. And then now New Jersey's transit system is currently planning to charge more than $100 for return rail tickets from New York's Pennsylvania Station to MetLife Stadium for World Cup games, according to people familiar with the plans who asked to remain anonymous in order to protect relationships. A return ticket purchase via New Jersey Transit, New Jersey's transportation provider, is currently modeled for more than a seven-folded increase from its usual price during World Cup this summer. The 18-mile rail journey, which includes a stop at Secaucus Station, ordinarily costs $12.90 for a return ticket, the same pricing for the FIFA Club World Cup final last summer. The new special event pricing, however, is due to come into effect for the World Cup and is currently due to be over $100. What are your thoughts with this, man? How is the World Cup off to a rough start as it is with all these issues?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. These prices, man, it's getting crazy out there, man. You already know World Cup is already expensive as it is to go to.
Yeah, them tickets are insane.
So to add this onto it, charging up, yeah, not a good play.
No, I was looking at tickets for a Brazil game. I think the cheapest ticket I saw was like $1,000. It was insane. So I'll be watching it from my TV. All right, next up, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has revealed its class of 2026. The list of names that have made it are Phil Collins, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, Joy Division / New Order, Oasis, Sade, Luther Vandross, and Wu-Tang Clan. Obviously, we talked about this a while ago. There was a whole bunch of names on that list that potentially could have got it. But overall, with the names that were announced, did they get it right or did they get it wrong?
Oh, they got it right. I mean, the names you can't go wrong with. Look, I'm not sitting here saying I'm an Iron Maiden fan. I listen to them, but I know what they represent. Phil Collins, I know what he represents. Billy Idol, I know what he represents. But I'm happy for Sade, well deserved, and I'm happy for Wu-Tang Clan, one of the greatest rap groups of all time. So,
yeah, for sure. Iron Maiden, congratulations to them. Amazing. Phil Collins, Billy Idol. Everybody deserved it, man. So congratulations to everybody. I'm sure everybody else who was on that list that will get on very soon. Yeah. Very soon. All right, next up, as a parent of yourself, reports have said that the cost of raising a child in the U.S. to age 18 is now over $300,000, up 28% since 2023. What are your thoughts with this, man? As a fellow parent yourself, man,
I'm almost done, baby.
Is it now becoming more and more impossible to have kids with the way prices are going?
Of course, shit is expensive out here. I'm sure diapers and formula and shit. That shit's probably expensive, man. It was expensive. I felt like it was expensive when my babies was young. So
yeah,
I can imagine what they look like now.
Nah, yeah, for real. Not for real, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And is there any more? Is that it? Yeah, that's it, man. That's it for Random Rules tonight, man.
Have you heard some of the reports they have from Cinecom for Warner Brothers?
Nah.
They reported that the Clayface movie, it looks like a real horror movie. Like they're really going there with the horror. They said that the guy who's playing them, they showed the trailer and he's like real disfigured and beat up, and then they show him, going through his career as an actor, and They even show a scene where his face kind of slides off and all that stuff. So they're really pushing the horror film on it. It says real James Wan-ish Bloomhouse type.
Mm-hmm.
So very interesting to hear about the Clayface movie. What else did they tell? I think they played like the first 7 minutes of Doom Part 3. They said it looks like Saving Private Ryan, the first scene.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. So I'm sure you're excited about that.
Yeah, always.
What else did they show? Rest of the stuff was just kind of like stuff they'd already show. You've already seen trailer, Supergirl, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was something else they talked about. That might be it. They said they announced another Evil Dead movie, and I think that's it. Oh, and another Tom Cruise movie where he's got like a fat suit on.
No, yeah.
So, all right, man. Let's talk about WrestleMania 42, man. All right, man. This is the card right here, dog. We already did like a preview of this, but now we're gonna do our predictions. I know you don't really watch it, so just do the best you can, sir.
Okay.
So the first match, now each night, the first hour will be free. So you can watch it on ESPN2 night 1 and then ESPN on night 2. So the first hour, so you're gonna be able to see LA Knight and the Usos versus the Vision and I Show Speed, and then you're gonna be able to see the Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre match, and then on night 2 you'll be able to see Obafemi versus Lesnar and the ladder match for the IC belt. So, but we'll start with night 1. Usos and LA Knight versus the Vision and I Show Speed. I think the Usos and LA Knight would win this match, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Vision comes away with a win. Mm-hmm. Now I can see them losing by I Show Speed takes the pin, and that way you could reserve the Vision not taking a pin. They're still the tag team champions. They just I Show Speed took the L, so he's the celebrity. He's going away. He can afford taking the L. So. Mm-hmm. I could see something like that, or maybe some tension may happen between LA Knight and Usos. I know Jay Uso and LA Knight have not been on the best of terms. He's been more cool with Jimmy, and maybe something happens between those two, which will cost him the match. But I guess I'll roll with the Usos, and I think they'll play it safe like they always do. So I'll go with Usos and LA Knight beating them. I Show Speed takes the pin.
I'm gonna go with Paul Theory and Speed. When you kind of talk about that situation, I think they could probably create more storylines if there's some issues with Uso and LA Knight and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's different variations of it, but yeah, better than me. But I'll be on the opposite. I'll go with Speed and Paul and Theory, Austin Theory.
For sure. And then you got Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. So that means like they're going to turn the lights off and then turn it back on. And this match doesn't count. It's not indicative of their record or whatever you want to call it. It's just a all-out brawl. They're going to beat each other to hell. There's going to be tables and chairs and shit flying. They're going to go into the crowd, probably whatever. It's going to be crazy. But I'm going with Jacob Fatu. I think it's his time to get that battery in his back. Drew McIntyre, I think he's going to go away to promote the Highlander movie that's coming out with Henry Cavill, and I think he's going to be in that. So I think that's one of the reasons why they took the belt off of him. So I got Jacob Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu needs to get that battery in his back. I wouldn't be mad if Jacob Fatu wins the Money in the Bank when the Money in the Bank is up. But I definitely want him to win the Royal Rumble next year. But they got to put the battery in Fatu's back. I think it's time for him next year to be looking for a heavyweight championship. So.
Nah, for sure. I'm a roll with Fatu. I'm just a bigger fan of him, even though I've seen some matches with Drew McIntyre. Man, he's a specimen in that ring. But I'm just a bigger fan of Fatu, man. I root for him, so I'm gonna go with Fatu.
For sure. And then you got the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship. You got Charlotte and Alexa Bliss versus uh, Bailey and Laura Valkyria. I don't know if the Bella twins are competing in this because I think Nikki Bella fractured her foot and they haven't been on TV since then. And she claimed that she's going to be fine, but as a foot fracture, so I don't know if she's going to be available for that. So maybe they replace it with Kara Sane and Asuka. I think that's why they kind of hold off for them compete. Asuka and Io Sky. I think that was the match that was supposed to happen, but they didn't go forward with that. But we'll see. But and then you got the Irresistible Force with Lash Legend and Nia Jax. They are the champions. I don't know who's going to win this match, but I guess I'm going to go with Bailey and Laura Valkyria. And I think that Laura Valkyria and them might do some. I think they might do a program with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss where they turn heel almost, where they, do some shady stuff to get the belt, to get the win. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Bailey and Laura Valkyria, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lash and Nia Jax retains either.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea, so I'm gonna roll with what you think. I'm gonna go with Bailey, and then plus, she do got that fat. Nah. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Bailey.
And then you got AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the women's IC belt. They've been going in this long-standing feud for a minute now. In the last pay-per-view, AJ Lee finally beat Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch is going to win this match. I think AJ Lee, whatever deal she signed, I don't think she, if you're going to be the champion, you gotta appear. You got to be there. And I think that she probably got one of those contracts where she's like, look, I'll sign, but I can only appear on this time. So I think Becky Lynch is going to get that belt and run with it. I think this will dead the beef between those two, and both of these two can move on to something else. And I got Becky Lynch with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Becky Lynch as well too. You stated it very well, man. Like if you're not there, how can we promote you to be champ? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna go with Becky Lynch.
We'll go with we'll do Gunther versus Seth Rollins. This match, it just came out of nowhere 2 weeks ago. Now I get it. Seth probably was supposed to face Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker got hurt. He's been cleared, but I think they said they wanted to build it up probably to SummerSlam. And then Gunther, they said he was supposed to face Rey Mysterio, but Rey Mysterio, he's not going to retire. So it's like, and they've been building him as this career killer. But Rey Mysterio has stated he wants Dom Mysterio to be the one to retire him. So he wants his son to do it. So, and that makes sense. So, and Rey Mysterio is competing in something else in the IC belt ladder match. So, I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna roll with Seth Rollins in this one. But I wouldn't be surprised if Gunther wins by some shady shit. Somehow Paul Heyman gets involved and Gunther wins. But I'm gonna go with Seth because he just came back, and I think they want to put that battery in his back. Maybe Braun Breaker comes out and spears him and costs him the match so we could get that rolling. So you know what? I changed. I'm going to go with Gunther. I think Braun Breaker comes out, spears Seth Rollins, and we get that going between Seth and Braun Breaker. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Gunther in this match.
Yeah, I'm going with Gunther. Dog. That motherfucker is a monster, bro. And I actually like watching him wrestle, man. He's actually, I think he's like true fundamental. Like when it comes to wrestling, like he's like, if you want a prototypical wrestler, he's the guy. You know what I mean? So, and I like Seth Rollins, but I agree with you. I think it could be a situation where Braun Breaker comes out, which I'm a huge fan of Braun Breaker. I like Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is fucking amazing. He's an animal. And then I think people would rather see that build up with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and stuff like that. And we just know Gunther, man. He's a menace, man. He as you said, he ends careers. Not saying he's ending Seth Rollins' career, but I just think I'm gonna go with Gunther. I just think he's gonna win that match.
And I also think this is gonna play into Gunther also because Paul Heyman said, if you beat him, I owe you a favor. And he's like, oh, if I beat him, you're gonna owe me much more than a favor. So I think this is gonna put the battery in his back to
Yeah,
he wants Brock Lesnar. That's what he wants. He wants to
that
end.
would that'll be an amazing matchup. That'll be an
Mhm.
amazing matchup, and then maybe he'll be the one that ends Brock Lesnar's career.
I think SummerSlam they're shooting for that. So
Yeah.
we'll see. And then you got Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Von Kerr for the World's Women Championship. These girls have been kicking each other's asses.
I've been loving it. I've been loving it. They fine as hell and they whooping ass. I'm loving it. Liv Morgan got bruises all up her. I saw her on ESPN. Her whole face is all bruised up. So
Well, Stephanie, Liv was talking to Roxanne and trying to, check Roxanne's temperature about Finn Balor because they kicked him out of Judgment Day, and he's the one that brought Roxanne in. And Stephanie came out of nowhere and hit Liv, and Liv's head hit into Roxanne's head.
yeah,
And you heard that.
yeah.
And so she had a big ass knot on her head, and yeah, it was bad. But I've been going back and forth on this. I'm gonna go with Liv Morgan. I think Liv's gonna win. I think Roxanne and Raquel will get involved, and I think we start the run of Liv and Raquel starting to get dissension where Roxanne is in the middle of it, and maybe she chooses Liv. But I think that I think Liv's gonna win it.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know who's gonna win this, but I think no matter what, I'll say this. I think this can be a great rivalry for a long time between these two ladies, especially with the performance that they have been doing with this build-up. I ain't gonna lie. This might be the most intriguing one for me. I wish this was on Sunday. I really do, because I really would love to watch this live. You know what I mean? Especially with just the animosity and the fierceness that these two have just been whooping each other's asses. Like sometimes the shit look like, all right, like they really do hate each other. You know what I mean? So, and I get it. A lot of this shit is performative, but at the end of the day, I'll rock with you. I'll agree with you. I say, you know it better than me. I'll go with Liv. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if this is just the first of many matchups between these two.
Yeah, for sure. Then you got the main event: Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Shout out to
you trying to say Pat McAfee should be in the forefront, Randy Orton should be in the back?
No, they putting Pat McAfee. Randy Orton has become an afterthought in this beef because Pat McAfee has just totally took it over. Today, Cody Rhodes showed up to the set on ESPN.
Yeah, I saw that.
Destroyed it, got his belt back. They fired the janitor and rolled Cody in. Pat McAfee over there interviewing the dude, like, man, why you let him in? He's like, hey, man, I was a Cody Rhodes fan. He's outside, you know what I'm saying? I thought everything was cool. I don't know what's gonna happen in this match. Somebody else is gonna come out. I don't know, man. I guess Randy wins. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't.
I guess I'll go with Randy too. I don't know, brother. I guess I'll go with Randy too. I'm trying to think of why. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a really good reason why, especially with the whole pack. Because now maybe it could be a situation where Randy Orton wins and then Pat McAfee kind of takes all the credit, and then you have a whole situation where he whips his ass or some shit. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
But I don't know. I'll go with Randy Orton. I think this could be I think it'll be an interesting matchup, especially with just the vitriol that Pat McAfee is getting with all the wrestling fans and just kind of the disdain of him and his presence there. So I'll be kind of curious to see how involved he is, because it seems like he's trying to take the stardom away from Randy Orton, from what all it seems. And maybe Randy Orton might have a problem with that, and maybe that might be kind of like the storyline of this matchup, where he's trying to take too much of the light, and then Randy Orton might just flip on him, whoop his ass, and then maybe Cody Rhodes ends up winning because of that situation. I could see that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And then we got night 2. Take this off because it's blocking me. We got night 2. First match will probably be it's Obafemi versus Lesnar. They are going to be the first match on night 2. They will be kicking things off, and I'm scared, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I saw the Monday. I know you were waiting for an F5 or something on Oba, but he just had the conversation with Paul Heyman and stuff like that. And I guess Paul Heyman said some shit that his door will always be open to Oba. I don't know what that means. I think that kind of signifies that maybe he might lose. You know what I mean? I don't know, but
when the man,
I don't know. I think Oba's too big, man. I think his star is too big. I think they have to let him win.
What scared me was his promo, and it was a great promo by Oba. My man said, "I am the one who can beat, who's going to beat Brock Lesnar. I am going to conquer him." I was scared, man. I was like, "Oh Lord Jesus."
Don't you think his star is just so big that he has to
Now,
win?
yes. Now, well, I will say this: I could see a situation where Lesnar takes his ass to Suplex City for most of the match, and then finally Oba gets one over him, gets his moves off, and then Oba wins the match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reluctantly pick Oba Femi because
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. They got too much going. He was on CNN.
He's a superstar. He's a superstar right now.
They putting too much battery. If it was Vince McMahon, he would have lost in like 3 seconds. But yeah, he'd had Brock Lesnar at F5 him one time and it'd be over.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with Oba. But my other grudge is that if you let Brock Lesnar lose, it might take the sting out of him and Gunther.
I don't think so. You think so?
I'm just saying.
It depends on how he loses. Like if he gets dominated, then yeah. But if it's like a great all-time very close match and it just goes Oba's way, then I don't know. I think he'll be out.
Yeah.
I think he'll be out.
But I'm gonna go with Oba because I want Oba to win.
Yeah. I'll go
Then
with
you
Oba.
got the ladder match, man. I think this could be a show stealer right here. If you like high flying moves, if you like flips and dips and all kinds of stuff.
I'm excited for this one. This will be my first ever in-person ladder match that I get to see. So
this is going to be the match where everybody's going to be oohing and ahhing because you got Rey Mysterio. We all know what Rey represents. He's the greatest luchador of all time, in my opinion. Shout out to my lucha libras out there. You got Dragon Lee, who's like the new young guy who Rey is trying to pass the torch to, kind of like the new Rey Mysterio this generation. I like Dragon Lee. He's nice. Javon Evans, who's gonna be like, he might be the new like Kofi Kingston type. You know what I'm saying? High flying, just an athlete. Then you got Penta with the Penta's like he's up there with one of the better luchas out there too. He's got mad charisma. Everybody loves Penta. And then you got JD McDonough, who's dude's a beast. You know what I'm saying? He's part of the Judgment Day, but dude can go in the ring for real. And then Rusev is like he's like the while everybody else is like high flyers, he's like the brute. He's like the dude that's gonna slam you on your neck. And he did that on Monday. He just slammed everybody on the neck, beat everybody up. And I don't know who's gonna win this match. They might let Penta retain, but I could see a case for every one of these guys winning the match. Maybe not Jada McDonough, but the rest of these guys, I could see a reason. You want Ray to have another run at the IC belt? I can see that. Dragon Lee, he could be, he can get the belt. I can see that. Javon Evans, they might want to put the battery in Javon Evans back. You know what I'm saying? He's a young star. Everybody loves him. And I can see Rusev. I can see Rusev getting the belt, but I can also see Penta retaining. So, and then maybe even JD McDonough can win the match and start the tension between him and Dom Mysterio, because Dom Mysterio was the IC champion and he won his belt back, and now JD got it. You know what I'm saying? So, I can see either one of these guys winning the match, but I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Rey. I
Go
think
Rey.
one more run with the IC belt, and maybe that leads to Rey Mysterio versus Dom Mysterio.
For sure. I'm gonna go with Penta. I don't know. Something in my heart, something in my gut just says I think Penta's gonna retain it. I think he seems like he's a very popular wrestler.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
I'm not mad
I
at
think
that.
I think he has some movement. So I think I'll go with Penta. But I wouldn't be mad at Ray. I would love to see Ray. Be dope.
And then you got the Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams for the United States Championship. Um, look, man, the crowd gonna be rocking when Trick Williams comes out. You know, I'm gonna be glad to be in the building to experience that energy. I'm glad you're gonna be in the building to
Yeah, I'm
experience
super excited. I'm super excited to
that
say whoop that
energy
trick.
when he comes out
Yeah.
because it's gonna be loud. Uh, I think it's gonna be a good match. As much as I want Trick to win this match, I think they're gonna play to Sammy doing, because the whole thing with Sami Zayn is that he was the good guy. He always did things the right way. These past few weeks, he's been taking advantage of situations with Carmelo Hayes. Trick Williams cost Carmelo's the belt by hitting him, and Sammy took advantage of that. Same thing happened the week after. Carmelo Hayes had hurt his leg in the match. Ref is trying to check on him. He took advantage of him not looking. And I think they're gonna play too. And this is where the switches come. They're already kind of teasing it, but this is where the switch is gonna come, where Sami Zayn turns heel, and Trick Williams becomes a face, and then at Backlash, I think Trick Williams beats Sami Zayn for the IC belt, to where now he's gonna be coming in as the baby face. So I think Sammy takes it this time because he's gonna do some foolishness. He's gonna do some trickery, some scandalous, and I think Sammy resigns. But I think at Backlash, that's where Trick Williams becomes the new United States champion.
I agree with you. I can see that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna rock with you. I'll go with Sami Zayn.
And then you got Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. I'm not gonna lie to you, Maul. As much as I love these women, I love the way they look. And I predicted this match was going to happen. I predicted Rhea Ripley was going to win the Royal Rumble and face Jade at WrestleMania. Even though I think that reality is, I think Bianca Belair would have been the one if she was healthy to win the Royal Rumble. And I think it would have been Jade versus Bianca Belair. The build-up of this match has been kind of
Mm-hmm.
When they first built this matchup, it was kind of weird. It was like Jay was like, "I look better than you. I work out better than you. My body's better than you." Da 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 da. And Rhea's like, "Yeah, you may be all that, but I wrestle better than you." Blah blah blah. I was like, all right, whatever. First promo was kind of me. Then Mention and B-Fab, they had beef with Jade Cargill. Mention ends up losing. Rhea tries to come over and console Mention. Mention's like, why are you here? Like, you always get opportunities and you always taking opportunities from us. And they end up joining up with Jade Cargill, and they've been like, jumping her and all that. And I get all that. But then they insert Io Sky, which Io Sky is on Raw. Rhea's supposed to be on SmackDown. And they were supposed to have this. They did like a whole little goodbye. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna do my thing over there. But then they insert Io Sky, which is disappointing because Io Sky should be on WrestleMania right now.
Yeah.
And they insert her into this beef to help out Rhea Ripley. And she had a match with Jade. She loses to Jade, which Jade is the champion. That makes sense. And then on Monday, Io Sky faces Kara Sane, and Asuka comes out to interrupt the match, and then Rhea Ripley comes down, but then Jade comes down, and it's just a whole mess, which cost Io the match, which cost her to lose, which I don't know what they're planning. I don't know if they're planning Io Sky continuously loses, and maybe she blames Rhea and turns heel on Rhea, or she joins back up with Asuka and Kara Sane and with all them. I don't know. But I'm going to pick Jade Cargill to win this match. Because I think she needs this more than Rhea. Even though Rhea has been trying to chase the belt, she's been trying to get a championship. I think Jade Cargill needs this more than Rhea. Maybe a
Why?
backlash, they give the belt to Rhea. The reason why I say that, Ma, is because she needs the validation for this championship run. Because she really hasn't defended the belt.
Mm.
And I'm not, and now I can see why they don't want her to have the belt no more because she's not the best in-ring performer in the game. And to me, I hear you, I get it, but Jade Cargill is not one of those champions. She's not one of those performers. She's a more so she's a superstar because of the way she looks, the way her confidence is on the mic. She's the perfect heel. She's not known for her in-ring tactics. Known for her. She's supposed to be this force of nature. You know what I'm saying? So, I do think that Rhea and her going to have a solid match. But I'm gonna go with Jay Cargill. I think that B-Fab mentioned or somebody's gonna help Rhea lose this match. Maybe even Bianca Belair comes out.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what do you think it's the percentages that Bianca comes up?
I don't know because I did hear Rhea Ripley talk about Bianca and she was like, I wish she was here. I miss her. She's been missed, but that finger is kind of fat. I don't know what that meant. I don't know if the finger is not healed up yet. I know she's been working on it and whatever. But that would be one of those surprises that Bianca comes out, maybe cost Rhea the match, or maybe Jade wins, and then after that, Bianca comes out, and helps out Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
And then we set up Jade Cargill versus Bianca for maybe SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see, but I'm gonna go with Jade Cargill.
I'm gonna rock with you, man. Again, you know it better than me. As far as like the storylines and stuff like that, I'll go with Jade. That's my boo. So I'm gonna go with Jade. That's my boo. I love her.
Then you got Demon Finn Balor versus Dom Mysterio. This has been a match that's been a long time coming. These two guys were part of Judgment Day together. Finn Balor is the reason why Dom Mysterio joined Judgment Day. He was the reason why Rhea Ripley joined Judgment Day. Actually, Edge was the reason why they started Judgment Day. Him and Damian Priest, and then they added Finn. Finn was the reason why they turned on Edge and kicked him out of the group. And that's why he's in AEW right now. So these two have had tension for a long time. Finn had kind of lost himself, wasn't the superstar that we all known him to be, and he kind of fell to the wayside. But now he's been on the arc of him trying to get back his mojo. He had a couple of matches with CM Punk for the belt, and they were really good matches, but he came up short. And he started becoming more of a baby face, and then kind of getting that Dom, telling him you're a spoiled brat almost, and what I'm saying, like, you're not. It's because of us that you still got that. He had his IC belt and all this stuff. You need to learn to do it on your own. And Dom ended up losing the belt. They turn on Finn, JD McDonough, who is supposed to be like JD is supposed to be Finn's little like that was his little sidekick or whatever. He brought him in. Both of them are from Ireland, so that was that connection. But JD turns on Finn, and then they do it again. I think it was Monday. They turned on the Monday before. They turned on Finn. He announces, I think it's time for my alter ego to come out because we haven't seen the Demon, I think, in 3 years now. And the only thing about this thing, I wish they never announced it.
Mm-hmm.
I think this should have been like, look, we know it's coming, but you ain't got the Demon versus Dom Mysterio. It should have like eased into it, like it's coming, but what's coming? Like boom, and then he comes out as the Demon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I imagine he can't be the Demon and lose to Dom Mysterio. I'm sorry. You can't have him do this and then my man loses. I don't care. I don't care how amount of outside interference comes into play. My man Finn can't lose as the demon, man. You can't bring him back and have him win. You got to have him win this match and then put the battery in his back. Maybe he goes for another belt. Maybe he goes for the IC belt, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he gets traded to SmackDown. He goes for the US belt. I don't know. But you got to put the battery in Finn Balor. Get him back to championship gold. He was the first Raw champion, and then he tore his shoulder. And he never got back to that. It was just like they punished him for getting hurt. And he never really got back to that. He was a fan favorite, you know what I'm saying, when he was a baby face. And he's going to get back to that. And hopefully puts a battery in his back to where he can start getting matches as a baby face, getting himself built back up. But I got Demon Finn Balor winning this match.
No, I agree with you. You just don't go demon mode and then get your ass whooped. Like, it just don't work like that. So I'm gonna go with Demon Finn Balor as well.
And then we got the main event, the World Heavyweight Championship match: CM Punk versus the OTC Roman Reigns. I ain't gonna lie, this past Monday was a weird ass promo. I ain't gonna hold you, dog.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of
these niggas talking shit to each other. They've been beating each other up. And then they just had like a compliment off.
Yeah, pretty much.
I hate you because of this. I hate you because you're a nipple, baby. And you got everything handed to you. And I hate you because you're a connection to the crowd. Like,
yeah.
My man CM Punk finally apologized what he said about Sika and Roman Reigns pops. It's just like, now you apologizing? Nah, bro. If you had said this in the beginning, we wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
But this is weird. It's it's the better buildup of both men's championship title reign. Like, let's just be clear. This has been way better build up than the other one. I don't know who's gonna win this match though, dog. Because I see so many scenarios. They could play it safe and give it to Roman Reigns, and he wins the belt. Somehow the Usos, I think, are going to get involved. I don't know how. But then CM Punk, they can do something different with CM Punk. Maybe they turn CM Punk heel. And he does something. I don't know. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns.
Let me ask you, like, is there a probability of anybody coming out that could surprise?
Yes. The Rock.
Do you think there is a chance The Rock does show up?
No, I don't think so.
No.
But I do think that there's a chance that maybe Paul Heyman shows up.
For Roman?
No, for CM Punk.
Oh, for CM Punk.
And CM Punk becomes the new leader of the Vision. If we really want to flip this on their head. And they're the reason why Roman Reigns loses the match.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
I'm gonna rock with my guy, man. I'm gonna rock with my guy Roman, man. I'm gonna rock with my guy Roman. I just feel like it's no disrespect to CM Punk, man, but when Roman's champ, man, it's different. It's
different air.
It's a different air in the building. You know what I mean? Like, we all know he is the A1 superstar.
It's the tribal chief, baby.
You know what I mean? He still has that pop. He still gets that love. Fans still love him to death, man. I'm gonna go with Roman. I think CM Punk, I could see a situation where, your whole situation where Paul Heyman comes out, but Roman still wins. You know what I mean? And then you could still continue that rival going on, especially with Paul Heyman still helping out. So I'm gonna go Roman.
Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see.
I can't wait. I'm super excited, man. This will be my first wrestling event that I've ever been to in my life, and for it to be WrestleMania, man, I'm super pumped, super excited, man. I'm interested to see the environment, the feeling, the atmosphere of it being WrestleMania. Like, what does that feel like? You know what I'm saying? This is the biggest wrestling event in the world. I think it's going to be a packed house in that thing. I keep hearing it. It's definitely going to be a packed house in there. I know they keep bringing up ticket prices and all that, but I think by the time showtime starts, I think especially night 2, I think night 2 is definitely going to be a sellout for sure.
It's going to be cracking. I think night 1 is going to sell out because they got a 25% off now.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that It's gonna be a great night. Great night. Both nights. I'll be at, I'm going to the Palms to watch it with some friends at the pool. And then night two, I'll actually be in the building. Pretty sure me and Ma will meet up. That's what I want to tell you. We're all meeting up at the Mandalay Bay.
Okay.
So we're gonna meet up there and chill pregame and then head on over to Allegiant. So
For sure. Sounds like fun.
so yeah, man. Should be cracking. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. I'm excited for my boy Maul to see his first WrestleMania and his first wrestling event. What better way than to go to WrestleMania? So
Yeah, I'm pumped. I can't wait.
yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, man, that's our WrestleMania predictions. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, everything goes as planned. I'll probably do a more in-depth breakdown on my other channel for this. I drop my official prediction on my other channel tomorrow, so be looking out for that. But yeah, man, I'm excited for WrestleMania.
Nah, yeah, for sure.
Got anything else, player?
Nah, man, I don't have anything, honestly. Nah, I ain't got nothing.
For sure. If you want to donate to the Cris Mall podcast, you can donate to $ Cris Mall podcast. We'll appreciate whatever you donate to us. Whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, whatever you use, subscribe to us. Hit first time watcher on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesdays 9-ish p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can jump in the live with us. You can talk about these topics. We want to hear from you. Whether you agree with us, disagree with us, we want to hear from you. If you're listening on the playback, leave it in the comments section. Whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, whatever you use, follow us at Cris Mall. We'll follow you back. We're just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, movies, and all kinds of various other things. If you have critiques or feedback, or if you have a question or topic and you like said question or topic, we will bring it up. We will shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up via DM, emails, or our mentions. All right, good people. Until Monday, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. If you're coming to WrestleMania and you recognize our faces, come say what's up to us, man. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Just talk to us nice. Don't come up with us with no bullshit.
No.
But no, for real, you know what I'm saying? We want to mingle with some of y'all, man. So hit it, holla at us, dog, if you want to be in the building. But until Monday, hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Until then, we are out.
Adios.